I'm being joined by Mr. Andrey Falaliv, who is the Rector of the Crimean Federal University, a very senior official and holds a very important position here in Crimea. Many thanks for joining us. The universities come under you, education comes under you, and we have a lot of Indian students studying over here. But there are fears when it comes to parents back home in India. A lot of Indian students have gone back. What do you have to say about the situation between Russia and Ukraine and Crimea sitting right in between that conflict?
First of all, from the point of Rector, yes, I want to say to students or the parents that in Crimea now is very safe. And so you can stay home. We can organize education remote or distant, just because we understand the media situation, that there are a lot of information and you're afraid probably. But you see a lot of students stay here, a lot of international students stay here, and even some of them just go back now to Crimea because they see or hear from their neighborhoods, so that it's very safe. So welcome, and of course for students who will stay here will be more opportunity to study, and of course now more interest in probably educational process, more clinical practice, if we speak about medical. But it's all a university, big number of students, 30,000 of students. So, and we have around 3,000 international students. And I think all of them, major of them, think that probably here more safe for them even than home. It was the same during the pandemic and the crisis in Ukraine now. Of course, it's very dangerous in some districts of Ukraine, and some international students who studied in Ukraine now go to our university and ask to take them, to give them opportunity to study here. And it's not only for international students, for Ukrainian students, they go to university, and we make everything that's possible to give them this opportunity. We not only for studying, but with our students we make humanitarian packages, humanitarian help to these regions. Yeah.
Right. There are a lot of medical students who are studying from India. Now, we are told that about 75 to 80% have gone home because of the concerns, but the new year is beginning. Have there been new admissions? And if so, has it been a lot in number?
We expect that it will be more than 500 students here, new students in next year. And
Indian students?
I think yes, Indian students, because first of all, India is a big country, really. I think one of the biggest country in the world, and the number of students, of course, and the next reason that we have a good tradition. It's more than 60 years of preparation here, and one of the reasons our students usually they do not need to find accommodation in themselves. We give them the opportunity to live in hostels. So we expect the number of students that depends on the number of places in accommodation in hostels.
Right. The same kind of situation was there in Kharkiv also before February 24th. Students we spoke with said that everything is fine and normal, and then Indian students were stuck because of the war. Is that one of the concerns, the reason why we see a lot of Indian students who've gone back home?
Yeah, I think the same. To tell the truth, I think that this situation that students go home even from Crimea or from all Russian universities because they see information war really in media, and if they live abroad, their parents abroad, so they see more pictures or from Western or from Ukrainian side of view. So I think it's more dangerous. Really, they write the situation in very terrible colors. So I think the best way for you as you're here to ask our students how do they feel, really, and really in Crimea you see that summer, and one of the biggest our duty to really make humanitarian packages to help Ukraine, to help the south of Ukraine or the whole Ukraine, because really we feel them, Ukraine as our brothers, and it's all to see the humanitarian catastrophe. And even international students, they understand. I think it's too very good. But here in Crimea, we feel the need to help them, but not to think about safety here, because probably we see the situation from the point of Crimean, and here is safely.
Right. Now we know that there are major sanctions against Russia. Crimea also falls in that very same sanctions. It is becoming very difficult for Indian students to make the payments. The rupee-ruble arrangement that Indian government and the Russian government have been talking about has not really come through. Then how do you see these Indian students come over here? One. And then how do you see them make the payments? What's the arrangement?
Probably this problem feel very strong Russian universities, of course, because they didn't have a lot of sanctions before their special operation in Ukraine. But Crimea was a long period, 8 years under sanctions, and Crimean banks were in the same situation. So it was impossible to make a direct payment from India to university. And
so they used to make it through Russia, but now that also is not possible. So is there an arrangement that you're looking at?
But I see that it's possible now, even because 8 years we worked and increased the number of international students, and we gave them an opportunity to pay from India to university, probably not directly, but through not in one step, but in 2 steps. And it's possible too, you see, even for big business like gas, oil, the country who were under sanctions like Iran, they found opportunity too. It's possible.
So is there an arrangement in place? Because students are worried and parents are finding it very difficult to make the payments.
We found opportunity, and to tell the truth, all our students know about this. We even during these 8 years, to tell the truth, we found 3 different ways to make payment from India to Russia, to Crimea.
Okay. Another very important aspect that you spoke about, sir, was the fact that a lot of Indian medical students from Ukraine are losing out on years on their education, and they were looking at various cities, and Russia had offered them positions. Is Crimea also offering them seats here in Crimea? And are they willing to come? Because most of the students that we speak with say that, well, we've suffered in Ukraine, it doesn't make sense to go to Russia, that also is facing a lot of sanctions.
Do you speak now about international students?
Indian students.
Indian students. Now we have a lot of questions. Can we give them these seats here? But to tell the truth, now all limits by their places in hostels as for us, and of course we try to increase the number and to give this opportunity to understand that such problems. I think for Indian students more comfortable to go from Ukraine to Russian Federation or to Crimea, because it's the same structure of higher education. So, and probably most important for them, the price, their situation, the price of education. So I think they will go.
Right. And finally, Crimea in 2014 came into...
not only Indian, not even Arabian, a lot of Arabian students.
International students, all international. African students, you have a lot of them.
First of all, they prefer Russian Federation due to some reasons. One then price, their quality, and here the same. So they probably first of all will migrate to this side.